साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे व्यास महाराज की।
Please take your seats, everybody, as we now proceed with the Vyas puja. As we proceed, thank you. गाय परे परे।
ओम जय भगवती की जय। माँ जय भगवती की जय।
तीनों प्रार्थना। ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा, गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। बोले धरती माता की जय, सनातन धर्म की जय, सतगुरु महाराज की जय, गोविंद भगवान की जय, व्यास महाराज की जय। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
प्रेम से वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, व्यास भगवान की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। Reverend Vyasji, respected Panditjis, beloved mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, divine souls, Jai Shri Krishna. Once more, it gives me great honor and privilege on behalf of the children of the late devotee and Ram Kisun Rambhajan, their grandchildren, great-grands. It gives me great pleasure to extend a very hearty and warm welcome to each and every one of you to this, the second of 3 sessions, Bhagavad Gita Katha. This evening, we are blessed, Ram Kripa Binusurup, the true blessings of Bhagavan, that we can congregate together. Hence, firstly, we give salutations to Bhagavan Sri Radha Krishna and all the manifestations of the divine, that we can commune together in this beautiful shrine, the Sri Trimurti Bhavan, for this second session of these 3 sessions of puja and katha, upon the behest of this family, of course. Before we continue any further and we proceed with our katha this evening, one of the instruments that is loved by Shri Krishna, as we all know, is the Bansuri. And with us here this evening we have Shri Pranav Dasji, who is in his own rights very talented on the Bansuri. And to set the tone for Shri Krishna's Katha this evening, we'll ask him to do one item. It was requested, Payo Ji Maine Ram Ratan Payo, on the Bansuri. Very, very beautiful. Super. Thank you, Pranavji, for that beautiful solo item. Before we proceed with Katha, let's see.
बिना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ बिना हो तो दीजिए जन्म जन्म का साथ मेरे दिल पर रख दो बाबा मेरे दिल पर रख दो बाबा अपनी को छोड़ा बिना हो तो दीजिए
Beautiful rendition to Bhagavan Ji. मेरे सिर पर रख दो कान्हा अपने दोनों हाथ. What else do we ask for the Lord? That, oh Lord, please rest your two palms on my head as your Ashirvad, as your blessings. Devotees all again, it gives me great honor and blessing to once more welcome all of you. Swagatam on behalf of the children, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, the sons-in-law, the daughters-in-law, the late Srimati Devati and Shriman Rambhajan to this second session of Bhagavad Gita Katha. This evening, we are blessed to have all of you, in particular, our Panditjis, Pandit Raj Singh Ji, Pandit Nikhil Ji, Pandit Anil Dubey Ji, Pandit Ji Kumar, Pandit Ji Tilan Raj, Pandit Ji Vinesh, Pandit Ji Mohan Lal, and all of you wonderful devotees of Bhagavan Shri Krishna to be here and to participate, to contribute, and to pray with this family as they celebrate life and in a manner pay tribute to all the ancestors that have contributed to their upbringing, to their livelihood, and lay the foundation for what they are today. Please give this family a big round of applause. Tonight, once more, earlier, a puja was conducted by Pandit Rajji and Pandit Nikhil. We have had beautiful bhajans and kirtan during the duration of puja and after. And I want to commend especially the children of this family. They will be the grandchildren, correct? The grandchildren, as they sang beautiful bhajans. They accompanied themselves on the harmonium and some on the dholak as well. All dedication to Lotus to Bhagavan, as if they also paid tribute to the departed loved ones. It is remarkable. I commend you all and keep it up. Puja was done, as I mentioned, bhajans were sung, and I'm sure once more the energy in the mandir is up to great heights. Our mind is attuned to be the recipient of Katha this evening. Last night we had a beautiful episode where our Vyasji reminded us of Jnana Yoga, and these excerpts were taken from, in particular, the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita itself is a guide to life. Hence, I implore all of you, as we embark on this journey once more, and we prepare ourselves to listen to Katha, listen attentively, and I'm sure there will be a message or two or more that will serve as a guide to our individual life, that will enhance our life, and that will make us, in the near future, a better person. A better person, not only to our family, but to our society. Our Vyasji is no stranger to us, our Dharmacharya, our Guruji, Panditji Chunilal Narayan, mentioned last night that not only is he the priest in charge of the Sri Trimurti Bhavan, but he has now, over the years, over a decade plus, has been the ambassador of Sanatan Dharma, not only of peace, but of Sanatan Dharma. And wherever he goes, he takes the messages of the rich scriptures of Sanatan Dharma and disseminates these messages to all those individuals across the globe, so that they can become closer and closer to the Lord. Before we listen to him tonight, please give him a big round of applause as our appreciation for what he is doing, not only for us. Sometimes the ones that is closest to us and we see very often, we take for granted. I can tell you that. I'm guilty of that. But when you go and you look at social media and how thousands of people, thousands of divine souls are longing to listen to his messages, you'll understand and you'll get the vibe, you'll get the feeling of how far these messages that is disseminated from the lips of Vyasji touch so many other individuals across the globe. Tonight, such a personality we have before us, one who is very versatile and eloquent in his deliverance. So I ask of you, I beg of you, to please sit in a very comfortable position and let us lend our ears to our Vyasji whilst we focus and we think of Shri Krishna simultaneously. Then the message becomes even more beneficial to us. So without any further ado, it gives me great honor, privilege, and blessing to introduce to you again our Vyasji for tonight, our Dharmacharya, our Guruji, Vyasji Panditji Chunilal Narayan. Prem se Vyas Bhagwan ki
एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
स्वाहा
विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। आञ्जनेय विद्महे वायुपुत्राय धीमहि तन्नो हनुमत् प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। महालक्ष्मी विद्महे सर्वशक्ति धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। अग्निमिरे पूजां यज्ञस्य देववृत्प्रजं होतारं रत्नधातमम् अग्निदेवाय नमः। ब्रह्मणे जात वीरशैरं नमः। प्रेम सर्वज्ञ भगवान की जय। सभासद, विप्र मंदिरी श्रोतागण, भाई और बहनों, प्रथम मैं भगवान श्री कृष्ण के चरण कमलों को नमस्कार करता हूँ। भगवान की लीला अति महान है, अपरंपार है। भगवान सर्वव्यापक और अंतर्यामी है। भगवान की अमृत रूपी कथा एक सागर का समान है कि जो लोग इस सागर में डूबने लगे तो पारसमणि मतलब इस रस श्रीमद् भगवत गीता से पान करेगा, जरूर मिलेगा। और इसलिए मैं कोशिश करूंगा इस महान संदेश में पेश कर रहा हूं इस रात्रि को, और आशा है कि इस संदेश, इस उपदेश जो भगवान श्री कृष्ण अर्जुन ने कहा इस भगवत गीता में, अपने मन शांत हो जाएगी, शरीर पवित्र हो जाएगी और आत्मा निर्मल हो जाएगी और अंत में मोक्ष प्राप्त मिलेगी। मैं आप लोगों को एक हार्दिक स्वागत करना चाहता हूँ इस रात्रि को, इस मंदिर को, इस कथा को, और आशा है कि भगवान आपको सभी भला रहेगा। द्वितीय में हमारे प्यारे श्रोतागण, इस सभी परिवार को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ कि इस महान यज्ञ को रचाया। इस तीनों दिनों में हम लोग इस महान मौका मिले इस मंदिर को आने पर, और भगवान की आशीर्वाद मिलेगी और इस उपदेश भी मिलेगी। मैं फिर एक बार भगवान की चरण कमलों को मैं नमस्कार करता हूँ। जय श्री कृष्ण। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Achyutam Keshavam Ram Narayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandran Bhaji Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadhavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika Radhitam Indiramandiram Chetasa Sundaram Devaki Nandanam Nandajam Sandari Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmani Tadantakleshanashaya प्रेम से वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की Reverend Pandits, Shrotas, mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters. Firstly, our adoration to the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, through whose blessings, grace and permission, we're all very privileged to be here, assembled in this mandir for the second session of these 3 sessions of Bhagavad Gita Yagna, sponsored by the Rambhajan family, in honor of their beloved parents and other loved ones of this family who have passed on. We salute this family for this initiative and for hosting all of us here for these 3 days, so that all of us who are here by coming to this yajna, like them and like the departed souls, certainly benefit from the blessings of the sacrifice this family is engaged in over this past weekend. So, like I said, take this opportunity to extend a very cordial welcome to all of you chosen to join us here this evening for the second installment of this Gita Upadesh, taken from the pages of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As human beings, all of us are duty bound. There are what we call the Panch Mahayajna. Panch Mahayajna are the 5 daily duties of a Hindu. And these are called, number 1, Brahm Yajna, which is prayer, worship of the Lord. Number 2, Rishi Yajna, study of the scriptures. Number 3, Manushi Yajna, service to our peers, service to humanity. Number 4, Bhut Yajna, which is protection of the non-human species. And number 5, Pitri Yajna, service to our Pitras, our ancestors, and those who are departed from the family. We find it many times difficult to practice all 5 of these duties in one day because we are busy people and we have so many obligations and so many commitments, daily commitments. A yajna of this magnitude, however, encompasses all 5 of these duties. At this yajna, Brahm Yajna is being done, where God is being worshipped. At this yajna, Rishi Yajna is being done, where the scriptures are being read. At this yajna, Manush Yajna is being done, where all of us come here and you are being hosted and treated by this family. At this yajna, Bhut Yajna is being done, where the remains of these offerings also benefit other creatures as well, aquatic creatures and other creatures. And at this yajna, Pitri yajna is being done, where gratitude is being offered to the ancestors of this family, as in this case, most notably, the departed parents and the other family members who were mentioned last night and who will continue to be mentioned throughout this yajna who have departed. So, you get a chance when you host a yajna like this to participate in all 5 of these duties incumbent on every Hindu. When you would have fulfilled these duties, then, my dear brothers and sisters, you would have served the very purpose of you coming into this material world, this earthly plane. So, that said, I want you to put your hands together and give this family a nice round of applause. Once again, because of the resolve and the conviction of entertaining a thought, an idea which materialized into reality over this weekend. A thought that even though mother and father have passed on from this earthly plane, has gone to the far beyond, they want the mother and father to know that by no means are they ever forgotten, or will they ever be forgotten, but will continue to linger not only in the memories, but in the service to the Lord as well, through the prayers and through the sacrifice. And this in itself stands as a shining example to every Hindu, to all of us, in fact, to every human being, because there is no denomination, religious denomination, on the face of this earth. There is no religion per se that does not endorse in any way the worship and bring reverence to mother and father. In Christianity, the Bible teaches that honor thy mother and father, that their days be long upon the face of this earth. Here we see one of the commandments, the 10 commandments, is to honor mother and father. In Islam, it is stated that heaven lies at the feet of mother. In Sanatan Dharma, it is Matri Devbhava, Pitri Devbhava. Mother and father are earthly gods. So these two people who are responsible for us being into the world, because they give you many things in life. Sometimes many of the things you've forgotten because there are too many. But you cannot forget, how can you ever forget the fact that they bore you, they gave you life. They breathed the breath of life into you. They brought you into the world. Because of them, you are here. Because of them, you are who you are. You are what you are. So you cannot forget the origin of your existence lies with the mother and father. And I think this practice here should be made more popular, especially amongst our people in our community, because in such a busy world in which we live, we tend to forget mother and father. Not even when they're alive, we tend to forget them sometimes. There are many mother and father in nursing homes right now, and they're forgotten completely. The kids take them there, leave them there, not even a phone call, then we're back to visit them. You go to the nursing homes and you interview some people there, and you will be surprised to know that people from our community are capable of doing something like that. You go all the way to South Africa, where I go very often. I did some programs there at one of these nursing homes. It's called the Aryan Benevolent Home in a place called Chatsworth in Durban. And I happened to interview some of these mothers and fathers who were there, and I also listened to their stories. In fact, when I did some program and I sent some golden oldies, like from their time, which I assumed from their time, and it was such a love to see them, some getting up from the wheelchair, and they were dancing, and they were so happy because they never felt so happy in years. No one ever told them after so many years that they were loved. They never saw the face of a child to hug them and to repeat those magic words. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Very pathetic indeed, very sad. And that holds true not only for that part of the world, but for here and other parts as well. And there are situations where the parents, mother and father, would have given everything away to the child. Everything, the house, the property, the money, and everything. And then what the child does in return, as an act of gratitude, take them to the nursing home, leave them right there, and goodbye. Now this is not what Sanatana Dharma is teaching us. Nursing home may not be a bad place. What is bad is neglecting your parents regardless. Neglecting your parents. That is bad, that is wrong. Because if they are earthly gods, they're to be worshipped, not neglected. And that is what we're doing here tonight is an example, a reminder to all of us. What this family is reminding all of us is about our duties towards our parents. I do hope this serves as an eye-opener for many people, for many families, and thus it will help to build the integrity of the family unit and help and the stability of society consequently. So we salute this Bhajan family here who have worked very hard at putting this yajna together. All the siblings have come together, the grandchildren and everyone else in this family, and they've done so with so much joy in their heart for their parents. And so you know, they're not doing this now after the parents are gone, but while those parents were alive, they also did their duty towards them. So while they were alive and while they're gone, the duty continues. Isn't that wonderful? This is a sample family to the rest of our society. And these good acts, meritorious deeds, need to be repeated every so often by every family. By every family. Every family. Now the thing is, one day, you and I, and all of us who are here, we will also become pitras too. We'll become somebody's pitra. Right? That is going to happen. You'll become somebody's pitra. You already are pitras now. You'll become pitras also one day. Then what happens then? You'll be there waiting, just waiting for someone to say a prayer for you, to make an offering on your behalf, to do something of this magnitude on your behalf. So it says what goes around comes around. You do your duty now. In all probability, after you go, others will do it for you as well. So my dear brothers and sisters, we are indeed very blessed to be here tonight and to join with this family in honoring the memory of two wonderful, wonderful souls. The great mother, Mataji Devati, Rambhajan, and the late Pitaji Ramkisun Rambhajan, and the other pictures also from this family. With pictures, you will see some of them here to remind all of us of the greatness of these individuals. So we certainly welcome all of you here this evening. And we welcome Bhagwan Krishna as well. Swagatam Krishna Sharanagatam Krishna Swagatam Krishna Sharanagatam You see, when this soul is in the body, the soul is at the mercy of the sense urges. An uncontrolled mind and uncontrolled senses can actually lead the soul to ruin, especially when intellect is a negative. In the Ramayana, Vibhishan says to Ravan, Sumati kumati sabke ur rahi naat puran nigam asakahari jahan sumati dah sampati nana taha sumati dah vipatti nana. That in every heart there is lodged wisdom and unwisdom. Sumati and kumati, these make up mankind's intellect. So when the soul is present in this body, these experiences of the senses, especially the cravings of the senses, when they're out of control and the desires overwhelm us, then what happens is that the soul suffers. The soul itself, as I said, is that spark of Paramatma. The soul only relishes in activities like these. This is what the soul wants. This is what the soul enjoys. That is the reason why when someone dies, the soul exits the body. You want to do a yajna, you want to do a puja, you want to do a memorial service on behalf of that soul. I don't think anybody in their right mind would want to memorialize the soul, honor the memory of the soul by hosting a big party. That really doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, the soul has nothing to gain from that. The departed soul. The people who are enjoying, they will gain, not the departed soul. Now, because the Atman sees that the spark of Paramatma, this kind of activity is what benefits the soul, nothing else. Nothing else at all. Someone dies, and you have, every night you keep awake, you read the Garuda Puran, you read the Ramayana, you read Bhagavad Gita, all of this is to help. Only these things are going to help his soul on his onward journey. Now, last night we looked at the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and we concluded that Arjuna, who was suffering from his grief, suffering from the state of confusion, the infatuation, when he was examined by Bhagavan Krishna, the Lord realized that Arjuna needed an urgent dose, powerful dose of knowledge. And that knowledge became known as the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge which he milked from the Upanishads and delivered to Arjuna on this battlefield of life, battlefield of Kurukshetra. In this discourse, we said that the Lord identifies three pathways that leads to him. These three pathways are known as Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Karma Yoga. This is what this entire Bhagavad Gita is about. The path of knowledge, the path of devotion, and the path of action. Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Karma Yoga. So we looked at this Jnana Yoga last night, the importance and relevance of spiritual knowledge to our everyday lives and to our hereafter as well. Tonight, we shall look at the second one, which is Bhakti Yoga, which is the path of devotion. The Jnani, the one who is steeped in the spiritual knowledge, see, when he is like those great saints and the sadhus, who are immersed in meditation and so saturated in this knowledge, and they're elevated and purified by the power of this wisdom that they've acquired. And they are seen as an embodiment of someone who is sacred and pure and beautiful. So they exhibit a very peaceful attitude. And a very that peace is expressed in this chant. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, that saint who is steeped in this knowledge, he assumes a very peaceful demeanor. And that is the shant bhav of the devotee. Now, in chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked a question. शरणागत के कृपाल तेषां के योग asking, let's look at Arjuna's question first of all, then we shall discuss it. He says, O Krishna, out of those devotees who exclusively and constantly are devoted to you in a manner, adore you as possessed of form and attributes, and those who adore you as the supreme reality, as the formlessness of the indestructible, unmanifest Brahman, who is Satchit and Anand, truth, consciousness, and bliss. Of these two types of worshippers, who are the best knowers and for whom it is easier to attain you? So what it means, you break it down. God for us is unmanifest. He's impersonal, formless, like water, for example. If I were to ask you, what form does water have? And then you look at it from all angles, you examine it, you come to the conclusion that water is formless. You can't say it is round, or it is square, it is circular, it is triangular, it is rectangular. Water is what? It is formless. The form of water would depend on the container in which it is placed. That gives it its shape, its form. That very water, at appropriate temperature, you put it, for example, on the stove, you turn on the stove, what happens? Eventually the water will disappear, isn't it? It will disappear. So the pot will become empty. Where did that water go? It becomes what? Vapor. It evaporates, becomes vapor. That vapor now, you see now, that water changes its form now from that formless water. You don't call it airy water, you call it vapor. Name changes, form changes. It goes upwards, further up into the atmosphere. There's a process of condensation takes place there. When you look up there, what do you see in the sky? You see clouds. The same water from that pot went all the way up there, and now it is clouds. Name changes, form changes as well. Then, when the time is right, the cloud becomes saturated, and then it descends as precipitation. Precipitation can mean rain. You say it is raining. You don't say it's watering. It is raining. Name changes, form changes. Or it is sleeting. Or it is snowing. Or it is hailing. Right? Then it comes down back to earth. And then once again, it becomes this formless water. It went through all of these phases, this entire cycle, and they become the formless water again. For us Hindus, God is like this formless water. At appropriate time, Yadaya Dharmasya Glan Bhauti Bharata, Abhyutanam Dhammasya Taratmanam Sujam, Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya Judushvitam, Dharma Sansthapanaka Sambhavami Yugi Yugi. Whenever, Yadaya means not mean once, but whenever, and only He knows how many times He will come. Whenever the opportunity does arise for Him to manifest Himself, that unmanifest becomes manifest. The formless assumes a form. Right? That explains all the murtis we have here. That unmanifest Supreme Brahman becomes Sri Ram, becomes Sri Krishna, becomes Durga Ma, becomes Saraswati Ma, becomes Lakshmi Ma, becomes Hanumanji, becomes Ganeshji, becomes Lord Shiva. In all of these forms. And then someone who has no knowledge at all, little knowledge of what Hinduism is about, you enter the mandir and you see all this body, wow, you got so many gods. Sanatana Dharma, dear brothers and sisters, is not a polytheistic religion per se, where we believe in the worship of many gods. That same Ekam Vipram Sat Vaudavadanti, that same one formless God has thus manifested in all of these forms. So you can't have different types of water because you have hail, you have the snow, you have the vapor, all this. Oh, now look how many waters you have. is that one formless water manifests in all different forms and shapes and names. Isn't that so? The same theory applies here as well. So that one supreme Brahman is manifested in so many forms and each depicting a particular attribute of the Lord. Hanumanji, for example, represents the strength of that supreme Brahman. The courage, the humility, everything that he personifies. And the same applies to the feminine aspects of God as well. The motherly aspect of God is very easy to understand. Then you look at these murtis again, and you see them, and they were made out of stone. And then again, the other misconception that a lot of people have about us is that we are idol worshippers. Now you're worshipping idols now. You're not only worshipping many gods, but you're worshipping idols as well. Now, the word idol does not describe any of these vigrahas, any of these murtis. Idol is not the accurate translation of this word murti. It is not idol, it's not even an icon, it's not even an image. So what is a murti? The murti is a murti. That's all. You can't translate it. You cannot translate it. Because the murti becomes Bhagwan. Because Bhagwan resides in the murti. And the same Bhagwan can be attained through this murti. You connect with the Lord through this murti, where the murti itself becomes God. You say, well, how can a stone become God? How can man create God? Two friends were walking one day, and they saw a huge block of stone by the roadside. And one friend said, wow, this block of stone looks so beautiful. I think I want to take home this stone. So they got a truck and they took the stone home to his house. 3 months after, this friend came to visit, and he didn't see the stone anymore. He saw a beautiful murti of Krishna. And he said, wow, did you create this Krishna out of this stone? He said, no, I can't create Krishna. Krishna created me. How can I create Krishna? He said, so then where this murti came from? And he says, well, listen, you know what? Krishna was already in that stone. What I did was to chip away these unwanted parts to reveal that Krishna who was already there. Because he's already present there in this stone. And likewise, my dear brothers and sisters, there's not an iota of creation where God is absent. He is present in every particle of his creation. And that is how we must perceive this. And when you have an understanding, a clear picture of what these murtis are, what they represent, why Mohanji is here, he supplies all these murtis, he enables us to have them and worship them, and so many mandates he supplied, and he continues to do so. And he knows a lot what we're talking about here tonight. So these murtis, my dear brothers, you know, if you go to India and you were to visit these stores, these factories where they actually make these murtis, you'll see the strict discipline that these carvers they undergo when they're inspired, divinely inspired. Not everybody could create a murti like this. They're divinely inspired to create this. And then after the murti has been sculpted by that sculptor, what happens? Then there's a procedure called the Pran Pratishtha, which is the invocation of life into the murti through that procedure, and then the murti becomes an eligible form of worship that we all place our faith in worship. So, Arjuna is asking a question tonight. He says, Lord, of those who worship you as this formless God, without form, unmanifest, and those who worship you in the form of the murti, which of the two for which it was easier to attain? And that is a very valid question, of course, because there are people in the world who choose to worship God as an absolute unmanifest form, formless God. They think that God has never manifest, and He is that spiritual form, and they worship Him, they turn to meditation. And that is fine. Bhagwan Krishna, in his reply, he says, O Arjuna, Ye tvaksharamali deyasham abhyaktam paribhasati sarvatram chintyam cha dhyastamacharam dhruvam. He says, O Arjuna, both devotees, those who worship me as the impersonal God and those who worship me as the personal God, both are eligible to attain me. However, this is the difference. He says, Klesho adhikatarastesham abhyakta sattachedasam abhyakta hi gatir dukham dehavan bharavapyate. The strain is greater for those who have their mind attached to the unmanifest, as attunement with the unmanifest is attained with difficulty by the body conscious people. Now what does he mean? He means that you and I, we are ordinary laymen, ordinary people here in the world. We are not scholars, we are not spiritual magnates, we are not like those saints who are so steeped and elevated in the spiritual knowledge that we spoke of last night. We are ordinary people, we are mundane people, we are people of the world, and we have attachments to the world. So, for ordinary people like us, we need something concrete. We need something tangible. We need something physical where the mind could rest on, or which the mind could rest on, where we could connect. Now, let me do a little simple survey so you get the point. Don't we all chant the Hanuman Chalisa? Now, I want you to be honest now. Be honest. You gotta be honest. Don't we all chant the Hanuman Chalisa, do we? Yes. How long does it take? Approximately? 20 minutes. No, 10 minutes? 15 minutes? Okay. Now, I want to ask you a simple question tonight. Simple question I'm going to ask. Just be honest and give me an honest answer. Out of these 10 minutes, or 50 minutes that you chant the Hanuman Chalisa, how much of this 10 minutes you actually think of Hanumanji? Now, if you be honest with yourself, especially if you have a problem going on, something is disturbing your mind. If it's 5 seconds, is a lot. Because from the time you start with Jai Hanuman, the mind goes away. Now imagine Hanumanji is there. You're looking at the motive of Hanumanji, and still the mind goes away. Imagine if there was no motive of Hanumanji. It's like impossible. The Murti serves as a conduit that attaches us, the mind, to the Lord. It helps us to achieve that connection and that one-pointedness that is expected of us from the Lord. So Bhagwan Krishna is saying that it's very difficult for us ordinary people to attain that connection, to connect with Him. If you were to simply sit in a room, imagine you come to the mandir, there are no murtis at all. There are only 4 walls here. And you sit and you chant and you pray. There's nothing to actually fix the mind on. The mind goes from, because the impetuosity of the mind, it is so wavering, the wavering nature of the mind. You know, it's like a monkey jumping from branch to branch, from object to object. It's the fastest known vehicle in the whole universe. Because you could be sitting here now, in a split of a second, you could be millions of miles away, billions of miles away, to some other planets. That's the power of the mind. Very powerful indeed. Arjuna confesses in chapter 6, he says, "Oh Krishna, you've been telling me all these things, but I find it so difficult to control the mind, to absorb all this. For me to control the mind is like to control the mighty winds." And Lord Krishna says, "Indeed, you're right, O Arjuna. The mind is indeed powerful. It's only by abhyas, by constant practice, that the mind can be brought under control. And of course, with the aid of these physical forms of the Lord. Now, when you focus on the form of God, when you worship the Lord through these murtis, now that is called Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. It's not Jnana Yoga anymore. Jnana Yoga is the foundation. It sets that pace, sets the level for you to ascend to the next level. Jnani binu na hoi paratiti, binu paratiti hoi nahi priti, priti bina nahi bhakti pradai. So that very first rung of the ladder here is knowledge. Knowledge of God, of His greatness, and everything else about Him. And then, the more you know about the Lord, the more you learn about the Lord, the more you begin to love the Lord. And that is when you begin to practice devotion. Now, what is bhakti? Bhakti is a spontaneous outburst of the highest and purest form of love for God. Spontaneous. And how do you know when someone has devotion? How do you know that when you yourself are experiencing devotion? Let's go to the Rambhajan and see what Bhagavan Sri Ram does perhaps. You know, like everything else, if you have a fever, there are symptoms of the fever, right? You're running temperature. If you're feeling cold, you're shivering. There are symptoms as well. If you have any kind of disease, there are symptoms. Well, when you have bhakti, there are symptoms as well. Tulsidasi did the right place. Go to the pages of Aranyakam of Sri Ram Bhajan. Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Ram, Sri Ram Sri Ram says to Lakshman, हे भाई, जिससे मैं शीघ्र ही पिघल जाता हूँ, वह मेरी भक्ति है, जो भक्तों के लिए सुखदायिनी. Sri Ram says, that which melts my heart very quickly is the devotion of my bhakta. Melts his heart. You don't take that lightly. His heart melts when someone expresses such devotion for him. सो स्वतंत्र अवलंबन आना, वह मेरी भक्ति स्वतंत्र है, उसको दूसरे साधन का अवलंबन संभाल नहीं है. That स्वतंत्र, it stands by itself. It requires no other stay. It is incomparable. Bhakti tat anupam sukhamula. It is incomparable and it is source of every bliss. Now, so picture this scenario. You're sitting at your altar, or you come to the mandir, and a murti is before you. And you're looking at your Krishna or your Shiva, Durga, Ma. Now this time your mind is not going anywhere, your mind is right there. And you're making connection. And you simply gaze at the Lord. There are no desires, there are no wishes, there is no petition. The Lord is there, and suddenly you realize, one thought comes to mind: Lord, I am yours, and you are mine. I belong to you, and you belong to me. And then what happens? Mama guna gavat pulak sharira, entranced. No problem. All the problems you had suddenly disappear. Nothing else matters. You and the Lord. Then, my dear brothers and sisters, spontaneously, suddenly, Mama Guna Gavat Pulak Sharira. मेरा गुणगान करते समय जिसका शरीर पुलकित और वाणी गदगद हो जाए. Then suddenly, now this is sudden now, suddenly you begin to experience a thrill running through your body, where the hair stands on end, your skin grow. And then Gad Gad Gita, as you're singing the praise of the Lord, the voice begins to falter. Faltering voice. You get also choked up with the emotion. That brief episode where you spending this intimate moment with the Lord. Then Nayana Bahanira, then the tears begin to flow. Incessantly, uncontrollably, the tears begin to flow down your cheeks. Now, when this happens, my dear brothers and sisters, nothing wrong with you. These are the symptoms of devotion. When this happens, you are walking on the path of bhakti yoga, the path of devotion. That never happened to anybody here? If it never happened, something wrong with you. If it happens, then it must keep happening. Then, my dear brothers and sisters, then you realize that is the purity of the heart manifests through these symptoms. Some people look at you and say, something is pretending, something is wrong with this person. You don't mind what others think of you. Your experience is unique, something you find out for yourself. When that happens, my dear brothers and sisters, when you make that connection with the Lord, and that Lord fills your heart, Bhagavan Krishna says in chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarvbhuteshu name dveshu astiram priya ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapya. That I am the same to all beings, not is my enemy and my friend, but those who experience what I've just described here, he says, they are in me and I am in them. He is in you and you are in him. Now, don't take that lightly. If the Lord is a sum total of felicity, of happiness and joy, if he is a sum total of beatitude, if he is a sum total of knowledge, if he is a sum total of prosperity, all that he represents, and that very Lord lives in you. If he's that light, for example, and he comes into your mandir, into your temple, and begins to illuminate you from the inside, what else do you need? Who else do you need? Then you will have everything. When you have the Lord for yourself, my dear brothers and sisters, you have everything. Mirabai had Krishna for herself. She didn't need anyone else. She didn't need anything else. She went about with this murti of Krishna, and she's selling this murti wherever she went. Then, at the end, Mirabai, who is this tiny devotee of Sri Krishna, he says, I'm offering this roti to all of you. There's only one price you can pay for it. ये तो आदत प्रेम की मोल माही रे. Price of love, price of devotion. ये तो आदत प्रेम की मोल माही That is the attitude of someone who is immersed in perpetual love, pure, unalloyed, unconditional love for God, unwavering love for the Lord. And that love is challenged from time to time, my brothers and sisters. Circumstances that happen in our life put that love to test. My dear brothers and sisters, if you are a true bhakta, true devotee to the Lord, you see each test as a blessing in disguise. As I often say, our faith is being tested in so many ways. One of the ways of being tested is when people come and knock on your doors and offer you a savior. You don't be upset with anybody. Don't harbor any grudge for anyone, or anger or animosity to one. Just tell yourself, Krishna is testing me, testing my faith, see how strong it is. I must pass this test. I have to pass it. So the true devotee, my dear brothers and sisters, never wants to be separated from the Lord. The Lord becomes part of you, you're part of Him. Now you say, well, what am I supposed to do now? Give up a job? Give everything up now and go sit in the cave and pray now and want to be with the Lord? Doesn't mean that. It means wherever you're going to take Him with you. You take Him to the job also, He wants to be with you at the job. You go to bed at night, He sleeps with you too. You wake up with Him in the morning too. He eats with you too. Take Him with you. He's always with you. He's your shadow. Never deserts you. And when you have His presence and His protection in your life, my dear brother, what else do you need? Prabhu ji, tum chandana. says to the Lord, Lord, tum chandan hum pani. I want to be part of this sandal paste, this chandan. As you know, the chandan is the sandal wood that you grind in the stone, and then it produces this sandal paste. But you can grind all day if you want. There's another ingredient that is required there, and that is the pani, the water. Lord, I can't be this sandalwood. You are this chandan. I just want to be that pani, a few drops of water. Because when mixed with that sandal paste, it goes all the way to the forehead of the Lord. I want to be with you. I never want to be separate from you. Prabhuji, tum deepak hum bati. You are the flame. I can be the flame. You are the light. You are the all-powerful light. But I want to be part of the equation as well. Let me be that wick, that bati, that wick that sustains the flame. Lord, tumumotiyam dhaga. You are the pearl. I can be that pearl. You are the pearl. But I also want to be part of it as well. Let me be that thread, the dhaga. So that this pearl strung with this thread eventually sits around the neck of the Lord, rests close to his heart. That's how close the devotee wants to be. In communion with the Lord. Prabhuji, tum swami hamdasa. You are the master. I just want to be your servant. Hanumanji is the epitome of bhakti, Ram Bhakti. He's Ram Bhakta Hanuman, the true devotee of Prabhu Sri Ram. As a devotee of Sri Ram, he exemplifies what true bhakti is. He practices totally selfless devotion for the Lord. There are no strings attached. He didn't serve Sri Ram because he was expecting a certificate from Sri Ram, signed by Sri Ram, or he's expecting praise from the Lord, or expecting a trophy or some kind of reward or remuneration. None of this such. Hanumanji just served Sri Ram with all his heart, with his entire being, because of his love for the Lord. And he's come to teach all of us what true bhakti, devotion is all about. And if you look at all the scriptures, the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, for example, so many great examples of devotees in Ramayana, all these texts of devotees who practice in its purest form with all humility, devotion for the Lord. And this, for this age of Kali in which we live, this is the panacea, this is the remedy, this is the path that is most prescribed. It becomes most effective and most rewarding and conducive to our ultimate goals in life. Not only you paving or you creating a path for the hereafter, but as you practice it, but as you walk the journey in itself gives you a lot of happiness and satisfaction. Not only the destination, the journey. You want to enjoy the journey as you go along. So as you practice, you experience that oneness with the Lord. You experience the Lord's, his continuous presence in your heart. So my dear brothers and sisters, as human beings, we all have that ability, to pursue such a path prescribed. And of course, it doesn't require any kind of qualification. It doesn't require any amount of wealth. Every person can practice it, regardless of your meager circumstances. Our Krishna says, chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Param Toyam Yomi Bhaktyam Prachati. If the devotee offers to me, whether it be a leaf or a fruit or a flower or a few drops of water, these offerings I shall accept, O Arjuna. That's what it takes to be a devotee. He doesn't say, offer me all the wealth you have, all the property you have, all the cars you have, all the things you have. I need that from you. That's not the Lord whom we worship. The Lord is happy with the simplest of offering. What he's looking at is not the offering per se. He's looking at the heart of the devotee. He's looking at the purity of your heart. And if there's purity, there's selflessness in your heart, then you move the Lord to respond. You see, when Bhagwan Sri Ram goes into the forest and he meets with Shabari, and Shabari feeds him, Kandanul Balasarasyati Di Ram Kahan, Prema Sahita Prabhu Khaiye Baram Barbakam. This was an old woman, hunchbacked, toothless perhaps, and She belonged to the Bhil tribe, which, according to her, makes her the lowest of the low. Adam ati Adam, Adam ati Nari. Sri Ram ignored all of this, and he gravitates himself. It was not by accident he arrived at her hut, Then he passing, he said, let me stop by and see who is here. He made it a purpose to visit her. In fact, it was a prediction made before by the Matang Rishi, the Guru of Shabali, that Sri Ram is going to come one day. And she prepared every day for Sri Ram. And he didn't arrive, and disappointed she was going to bed at night until that fateful day when Sri Ram did arrive with Lakshman. And when he arrived with Lakshman, she was prepared for his visit. Come the moment Parasaraswati, she didn't say, Ram, wait here, let me go. I didn't know you were coming today. I prepared yesterday, but I didn't know you didn't come yesterday. Well, wait, can you wait here? Please wait. Let me go get some berries from the forest. Let me go get some flowers. Let me get some water. None of that. She was prepared. She had all these fresh fruits every day. She was doing it because she knew Sri Ram was going to come. She trusted in the Lord. She believed in him. She had devotion for the Lord. And when Sri Ram came, he became her guest, and she fed him, chose to feed him with even one tasted berry. Sri Ram broke all the conventional rules of the time. All conventional rules he broke. Broke all the rules. Because at that time, people from these Aboriginal tribes were marginalized by society. They lived on society's fringes. They were barred from the mainstream interaction. Sri Ram wanted to teach the world that when it comes to devotion, there are no barriers at all. He will tear down all these boundaries, and he's going to go and he'll embrace the most destitute. He'll embrace the humble. He'll embrace anyone who comes to him for shelter. Bhagavan Krishna again says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, that all those who come to me, O Arjuna, seeking my shelter, ye pisyu papa yonasya, regardless how sinful they may be, regardless of what category you may belong, you shall attain me with a pure heart, through the path of devotion. Sri Ram ate from the hands of Shalini, and he blessed her, and he commended her, and he imparted to her the shiksha of the 9 forms of devotion, which he didn't tell anybody. He was not even Lakshman. He chose Shalini to be the medium of these 9 parts of bhakti devotion. Nauda bhakti is what it's called. Pratama bhakti santan kar sangha, dusari mamhari katha prasanga, Guru par pankaj seva, tisari bhakti man, chauthi bhakti mam guru gan, karai kapat. So this expounded there, the Ramayana, all the different forms of devotion. They expounded in the Srimad Bhagavatam as well, and it's Nauda bhakti, this path to be followed. So my dear brothers and sisters, the message here tonight is for all of us who are simple, ordinary people here when it comes to our spiritual life. And we want to learn more, we want to do more, we want to practice more. This is the simplest path for us all to follow. And first and foremost, we have to recognize the Lord in all these dimensions, in all these forms. And it's about establishing an unbreakable bond with the Lord. At the end of the day, when all these things will be left behind, and you have to travel all alone, empty-handed as you came into the world, when that moment happens, my dear brothers and sisters, this will be your companion. You want the Lord to be your companion. You want to hold on to his hand, let him escort you to his abode. That's all we want. That's what Mahatma Gandhi did. When he was struck with that bullet from Natura, his last words were, Hey Ram, surrender unto the Lord. You don't have to wait for that moment. Surrender now unto him. Be friends with him. Depend on him. Trust in him, my dear brothers and sisters. Take a lesson from the gopis. The gopis could never get enough of Krishna. sometimes they're so obsessed with Krishna. Krishna will simply suddenly disappear from him, yes, and he's gone. And he leaves all these broken hearts behind. So they realize that they had more suffering than good times. Because most of the time when he got in the presence, they're stressing so much. So they tell Krishna, sometimes it's better for you to stay away from this maneuver. Stay away from this palace, because you only give us more pain than joy. Jadu bhari amasuri bajaya na karo. Jadu bhari amasuri bajaya na karo. Mohan hamare madhuban mein tum inspiration from Bhagwan Krishna. You know, when he plays in his bansuri, we have his bansuri player here. Play some bansuri for us. Bajao. Imagine Bhagwan Krishna on the banks of the Yamuna in the company of Radha and all the gopis. And you're somewhere not too far from there, and these echoes of the bansuri reverberating, filling the air with such mellifluous notes. And you're listening from far, and this is what you hear. Gada gada gira nahi na bahira. Kanha teri bansuri bajti rahe din raat. Jisko sun ke gopiyan aaye dil ka चैन। instills in every heart the pure bhakti devotion for his lotus feet. In the essence of time, my dear brothers and sisters, we must conclude Prabhupada tonight. There is more in store for tomorrow morning, so please join us tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we come and we'll look at the third path, which is Karma Yoga, the path of action. We'll see what the Lord teaches us about this law of karma. It's a pleasure to have you here this evening, and we want to thank all of you. I want to welcome this evening none other than our Bhai Chandramohanji and our Bahin Nirmalaji. These are two great people here in this community. Here from Bangladesh, from India, even though he says he's from America. Every time he goes to Guyana, he's from a different part. Now this time he told he's from quarantine. So from America to quarantine is a long, I don't know how come you mix it up, but he's here with us, and he's well loved and respected in his community. He's been in this community for more than 45 years, providing all our needs, our spiritual needs. A very humble, unassuming gentleman. And he's a great devotee also of Ma, of the Lord. And your name says it all. You're Mohan is Krishna. So they named you well. They had insight when they gave you your name, because they knew that you would come to America and you would mesmerize, like Krishna did, all of us, especially from Guyana, especially with your golden voice and your great melodious singing. So Mohanji, we didn't get to listen to you last yashna. We were here this night, and we must listen to you sing his favorite bhajan before we conclude tonight. I want to give Mohanji a nice round of applause. So thank you all for coming, and we'll wrap it up in a few moments. Prem Soul Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagan again. We must welcome also Dr. Malina, who is the daughter of Sarita ji and Paul, and she is the grandchild of our Mataji and Pitaji. And I know how proud they are. You have to be proud. You have your granddaughter as a doctor working where? Jamaica Hospital. Jamaica Hospital, a very important hospital for all of us. People say Jamaica is not a good hospital. It is a good hospital because it's only around with you here, we will take you straight into the hands of Dr. Malina. So, Dr. Malina, we're so happy you're there and you can take care of us if we go there, not when we go there. If. So, thank you very much. Bye, Roy. Nice to see you here tonight. I hope to see you tomorrow morning for the final session of this lecture. And you're looking great. Our Bahinji taking good care of you. I can see that. So, we hand over now to my check Mohini as he serenades us.
First of all, before I sing, I have few words. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. And I'm having a little difficulty, but it will be over so soon. I see Murti every time, all the time. Picture of Lord Krishna only on the Murti. Picture of Lord Krishna only on the picture. But today I saw real Lord Krishna, he was playing flute. Can you give him a big applause? This particular bhajan is dedicated to Lord Krishna. And there is a chorus also. When I write with the chorus. Please join with me wherever possible. Everybody is singer, everybody is listener over here in this temple. Please join with me. Say Hari Hari, Bolo Hari Hari. Hari Hari, Bolo Hari Hari. Everybody. Hari Hari, Bolo Hari Hari. Hari Hari, Bolo Hari Hari. Hari Hari, Bolo Hari Hari. Trust me, I'm not telling something, making a story. I got a power, Shakti, vibration, and I'm okay. No. Thank you very much for giving this beautiful sermon. I hardly hear here and there. I go most of the Mandir, but I never heard that. Thank you very much. Give a big round of applause.
Talking about our MC tonight with the Ganeshi. They have those speakers. Thank you for all those kind, undeserving words of introduction. You don't mean it by now. So, we're just servants of the Lord, that's all. So, when you Ganesh, you take it from here until we conclude.
प्रेम सुरव्यास भगवान की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. There's a saying, when the truth ought to be told, it should be told. So whatever I'm saying about, or what would have been said about our Vyajji is only but the truth. And I echo those very sentiments from Uncle Mohan. Please give our Vyajji a big round of applause. It's very rare that we get to listen to presentations of these magnitude, full of spirituality, information, and devotion together. And I'm sure all of us present here and beyond would have felt the divinity in this beautiful shrine of the Sri Trimurti Bhavan, Inc. I have said this before and I'll say this again. If you want to know what goes through the mind and the thought process of our Vyashji on a regular basis, then simply take a look at this beautiful mandir. This is his vision, his creation indirectly, but his vision, along with many other such institutions in the US and beyond. Please give him another big round of applause. Tonight, this family, as mentioned, is celebrating the life of members of the family that has gone to the far beyond, and remembering them, especially the parents, the grandparents, and the great-grandparents, for the foundation they have laid, the hard work they have done in the past, that the family now is enjoying here today in this part of the world. What indeed a fitting tribute, as was mentioned time and again. Tonight we listen to one of the great-granddaughter, that is, and she is no other than Karina. Karina will sing for us. Where is she? Yes. She sang earlier, beautiful Shuji Bhajan. And where did the time go, Karina? I've known you since you were her baby, basically. And same with Radesh and the others. After Karina, we'll have Dr. Melina.
So let's see the child come back now, and they're singing right here in this mandir as a tribute to her dad and to her grandparents, great-grandparents.
I remember when Uncle Cecil was alive and we used to do the puja there the Saturday evening while she's getting set. The grandchildren from the other side of the family, this Saturday night, we used to set up a show, right? Remember? And they will have this little natak among themselves, the drama amongst themselves. I've never witnessed it, but I was told. And these are all the side effects of such congregation over the Career.
Oh
discourse by Dylan. Please give Dylan a big round. So as Karina is at the microphone, I'll ask her to give her a couple minutes of reflection of her great-grandparents. And I believe Dave will come up with her as well. Where's Dave?
Coming for my Aji. My favorite memory of her was probably of her taking care of me and my siblings, telling us stories about our dad, and always her telling me to go brush her hair because she always liked it. Yeah. So thank you, everybody.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. My favorite memory of my aunt is that she'd always be there to care for everyone. I remember I would always be my grandpa's house, and she'd always make food. You know, whenever we go out, she'd come along with the ride with us. So that's something that she was always there for, was loving and caring for everyone around her. So thank you.
Thank you very much for those thoughts.
While I hope to hopefully not see any one of you at Jamaica Hospital, it is an honor to serve this community and a pleasure and a privilege that I don't take lightly to care for your loved ones. So, thank you, Pandit Ji. I have to thank you first and foremost for everything that you and your family have done for us over the years. You've been there for our highs, our lows, and most recently over the past few years, helping us heal from the loss of our grandmother. So thank you for that. Thank you also, Pandit Raj. You were Grandma's Pandit back in Guyana, so it's an honor to have you and your family here with us as well for this weekend. And Pandit Mohan, Pandit Ganesh, thank you for emceeing. Auntie Savitri, all the other Pandits, it's really a huge blessing to have you all here as well. And thank you to our musicians. It's really a treat to hear from you all. To the cooks, to everyone that made sacrifices to help put this together, it really is a team effort. So our hearts are full to have this weekend, day 2 of this Yagna, be a success. I'm gonna try not to cry. Okay, so I was very close to my grandma. She preferred us not to call her Nani because she said that made her feel old. But I grew up being told from my mom, from my aunts, what kind of how of a strict mother she was. In contrast to my grandfather, she was a disciplinarian. She ran a tight household and was an all business, no fun lady. Well, luckily, I never knew that side of her. She was the sweetest, most soft-spoken person I'd ever met. Like what Radesh said yesterday, she was the embodiment of just unconditional love. She always wanted to help out wherever she could and didn't want to be a burden to anyone. She was an integral part of me and my siblings' lives. She would house hop among her kids and assist them in whatever they needed help with. If you needed childcare, you would call grandma. If you needed help preparing for a puja, call grandma. If you needed someone to knead roti dough or baked dough, you could call grandma. On our drive over here this morning, Rissy, Radesh, and I, we were reminiscing on memories to choose which ones we would talk about tonight. And we spent the entire hour-long car ride just laughing. And I realized how blessed we truly are that we have so many memories with her. I'll share 2. One of my favorite stories to tell is I was in middle school, I came home from school, and she proudly told me that she did my laundry for me, she folded my laundry. And she said, you know, you have some holes in some pants, so I patched it up for you, so I fixed it for you. And she so proudly showed me, my jeans with, her patchwork on it. But little did she know, those were designer jeans and those rips were meant to be. Another memory that we were laughing about one morning that I had actually forgotten until Rissy brought it up. So one day I had to take her to a doctor's appointment and I had to pick her up from Auntie Pauline's house. But I had called her the morning of and I said, hey grandma, make sure you drink some water. They're gonna take blood work from you. They're gonna need some urine. So just make sure you're well hydrated. So I went to the house, she's walking out to the car with the water bottle in hand. So I was like, wow, she's, staying hydrated, very good. She gets to the car, puts a water bottle in the cup holder in the car, and the cup and the water bottle's filled with yellow liquid. So she took it upon herself to provide the urine sample from home. So I had a bottle of her urine in my car. So it's a funny laugh that we share, we still talk about today. And now for my grandfather, I was very young when he passed away. I have a few memories of him. However, he's spoken so often at home that I feel like I know him. He would have been the grandparent that would have actually had a car and would have driven us around. He would have picked us up from school. He would have taken us to the movies. He would have done day trips with us. He's definitely a person I wish I had spent more time with. And lastly, as someone who was born and raised here in this country, I often think about how I would preserve our rich culture and religion as we move forward in life. Of course, that's one way is to stay connected as a community, but also to not forget those that have left us. There's so much we can learn from those that have left us. This past January, we had the privilege of going to Guyana to visit our grandparents' home. And while it was vacant, overgrown with weeds, run down, my mom still had so much pride and love in her heart for that house. She shared so many life lessons and memories that were built inside of those four walls. So I have to thank my parents for continuously speaking and sharing life lessons from their parents and contributing to their legacy living on. That's something I hope to do with the next generation to come, to keep that tradition going. So again, thank you all for coming out to celebrate the legacy of my grandparents and to listen to our cherished memories of them. Thank you.
Wow, I wish I could say ditto. Jai Shri Ram, everyone. Thank you everyone for coming to honor and celebrate the legacy of my grandparents that has left us. There has been so many memories that me and my sibling have shared with my grandma. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to have those memories built up with my grandfather as he passed away when I was very young. But from what mom told me and what my aunts has told me, like what Melina said, from what I gathered, my grandfather was a very quiet man and like a very good man. So that was my grandfather. As for my grandmother, oh man, the memories that we have, like between me and my siblings, I can go on for days. But the one thing I truly miss about her was her presence. Just her being here. Like my brother said, the embodiment of unconditional love, that was her. However, her presence was a big thing. So when she passed away, it was very hard for all of us. It took a lot of time for me and my siblings to adjust over the time because we would be always constantly looking out for her, like, making sure she's okay. One of my favorite, recently we would go on vacation and we would be missing her and she was not there. So I think the presence of her was what I truly for her. And I did guarantee that the grandkids and all the grandchildren as well miss that presence, and that's what, thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, girls. Please give another big round of applause. And the family that prays together, stays together. We must emphasize how well organized and orchestrated these sessions has been so far. And I want to commend the children and the grandchildren very much. In fact, they've been here all week, almost cleaning the temple, preparing all the necessary utensils for the puja. It was not a one-day affair. It was not a few-hour affair. This has been long in the making, especially over the last few days. I couldn't help but to observe how well organized upstairs was also. And when you go up there, you'll see it for yourself, including the coffee and the tea. Guruji will make some final comments and then we stand around.
Yes, so please bear with me for a couple of minutes before we conclude tonight. Tonight we have in our main chairman Anil Dubey and Benedict Discover, and he is the priest in charge of the Sri Radha Krishna Mandir.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवा त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवा. Shall we bow to the feet of the Lord with thanks? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.